Antiperspirants and deodorants work in different ways to reduce body odor. Antiperspirants work by reducing sweat. Deodorants work by increasing the skin's acidity. The Food and Drug Administration (FDA) trusted source considers deodorants to be cosmetic, a product intended to cleanse or beautify. It considers antiperspirants to be a drug, a product intended to treat or prevent disease, or affect the structure or function of the body. Keep watching to learn more about the differences between these two forms of odor control, and whether one is better for you than the other. Deodorants. Deodorants are formulated to eliminate armpit odor but not perspiration. They're typically alcohol-based. When applied, they turn your skin acidic, which makes it less attractive to bacteria. Deodorants also commonly contain perfume to mask odor. Antiperspirants. The active ingredients in antiperspirants usually include aluminum-based compounds that temporarily block sweat pores. Blocking sweat pores reduces the amount of perspiration that reaches your skin. If over-the-counter antiperspirants are unable to control your sweating, prescription antiperspirants are available. Deodorant and antiperspirant benefits. There are two primary reasons to use deodorants and antiperspirants: moisture and smell. Moisture. Sweat is a cooling mechanism that helps us shed excess heat. Armpits have a higher density of sweat glands than other areas of the body. Some people wish to reduce their sweating, since armpit sweat can sometimes soak through clothing. Sweat can also contribute to body odor. Smell. Your sweat itself doesn't have a strong odor. It's the bacteria in your skin breaking down sweat that produce an odor. The damp warmth of your armpits is an ideal environment for bacteria. The sweat from your apocrine glands, located in the armpits, groin, and the nipple area, is high in protein, which is easy for bacteria to break down. The aluminum-based compounds in antiperspirants, their active ingredients, keep sweat from getting to the surface of the skin by blocking the sweat glands. There's a concern that if the skin absorbs these aluminum compounds, they can affect the estrogen receptors of breast cells. However, according to the American Cancer Society, there's no clear link between cancer and the aluminum in antiperspirants because 1. Breast cancer tissue doesn't appear to have more aluminum than normal tissue. 2. Only a tiny amount of aluminum is absorbed, 0.0012%, based on research on antiperspirants containing aluminum chlorohydrate. Other research indicating that there's no connection between breast cancer and underarm products includes the following. 1. A. 2002. Study trusted source of 793. Women with no history of breast cancer and 813. Women with breast cancer showed no increased breast cancer rate for those women who used deodorants and antiperspirants in their armpit area. 2. A smaller scale. 2006. Study trusted source supported the findings of the 2002 study. 3. A. 2016. Systematic review trusted source concluded that there's no link between increased breast cancer risk and antiperspirant, but the study also suggested there's a strong need for further research. In the early 2000s, it was rumored that the active ingredient in antiperspirant, aluminum, could potentially lead to breast cancer, but that is not true and this link has since been disproven. Aluminum does not enter the body in any significant quantity when using antiperspirant, and it will not lead to any potential health complications, unless you already have kidney disease. In the past, there were some concerns that antiperspirants could be linked to breast cancer. But these claims have since been disproven, and there is no clear evidence that using antiperspirants increases your risk of cancer. Here's what you should know about the safety and health risks of antiperspirants. The ingredients in antiperspirant have minimal health risks. Aluminum compounds are one of the main active ingredients in antiperspirants that help to combat sweat. There is little evidence to suggest that aluminum gets absorbed through the skin in any significant quantity from antiperspirants, Meehan says. Most healthy people will be able to deal with the small amount of aluminum that could enter their system. However, antiperspirant may come with potential risks for people with kidney disease, because their kidneys may not be able to deal with aluminum as effectively. And because high aluminum levels in your body can increase the risk of developing dementia, the FDA requires antiperspirant labels to carry a warning for those with kidney disease to consult with their doctor before use. This accumulation of aluminum only happens in patients with advanced kidney disease or kidney function of less than 30%. In people without kidney disease, it's nearly impossible to absorb enough aluminum through the skin to harm your kidneys, according to the National Kidney Foundation. Parabens are another ingredient commonly found in antiperspirants. These preservatives are used in many personal care products and have weak estrogen-like properties, Meehan says, meaning they mimic estrogen and have the potential to disrupt hormone function. Because estrogen is the hormone responsible for the growth and division of breast tissue, some people have theorized that parabens may be linked to breast cancer. Parabens have been found in breast cancer tissue, however, whether their presence has any significance is not known, Meehan says. Although parabens do show weak estrogen properties, natural estrogen is thousands of folds stronger, and much more likely responsible for breast cancer development. How to use antiperspirants safely. To use antiperspirants safely, always follow the label instructions. Apply a thin coat to the armpits as this allows the aluminum salts to form plugs that block sweat gland openings. If you think you may have a potential allergy to any antiperspirant ingredients, you may want to do a test spot. Apply the antiperspirant to a small area on the inner wrist and watch for a reaction, like an itchy or bumpy rash. If you experience a reaction, contact your doctor, who can prescribe a topical cream to treat the rash. Your doctor might also suggest patch testing to determine which chemical in the product you are allergic to so you can avoid it. The bottom line. According to the National Cancer Institute, antiperspirants are safe to use and no studies have confirmed a direct link between these products and cancer or other negative health effects. You may want to check with your doctor if you're worried about your kidney function, but overall, antiperspirants are very safe. If you are concerned about the cancer-causing ingredients found in traditional deodorants and antiperspirants, switching to a natural deodorant is worth it. And switching to a formula that is non-toxic has more benefits than you'd think. Most commercial antiperspirants deodorants rely on aluminum or antimicrobials to help control sweat and odor. Many also contain parabens as a preservative and some form of a carrier chemical to make it easier to apply to the skin. These can be silicones, such as cyclomethicone, PEG-8-distearate, hydrogenated castor oil and others. Natural deodorants mostly do not control sweat, but do control odor with safer, non-aluminum-based ingredients. Typically, mineral salts are the main odor-controlling ingredient in natural deodorants. Mineral salts or potassium alum occur naturally and work by forming a temporary layer on the skin, rather than plugging up the pores of the skin. This layer prevents the growth of bacteria that makes you smell. Mineral salts may not stop you from sweating, but they will help stop the odor. Mineral salts do not irritate the skin and are considered safe as a natural deodorant. Although there are no studies to this date that conclusively point to aluminum as a major cause for breast cancer and Alzheimer's, the results are not all in yet. It makes sense that small exposures on a daily basis could result in accumulation in tissues over many years. Our bodies do not require aluminum. We also know what we rub on our bodies, we do absorb into the body and bloodstream. If you are not a gambling person, you may want to choose your personal care products very carefully to avoid aluminum. Natural deodorant is a niche item. After all, the research isn't definitive on whether aluminum, the active ingredient in many readily available antiperspirants, is actually harmful to our health. And since they're often pricier than the ones you can throw into your cart at the drugstore, it's a big ask to explore the category. It's a balancing act between socially acceptable levels of body odor and keeping the amount of product down. Some chemicals are part of your everyday life. But it also makes sense to keep your exposure to any chemical to a minimum. Just because products are manufactured and marketed doesn't mean we know all the possible long-term risks. If more natural ways keep your body odor down, then use those. For those of you who have the perfect skin flora for body odor and these products don't work, then choose a deodorant antiperspirant for days you definitely need it, and use more natural products or no products otherwise. Your dog will like you more, too. If you've gone ahead and tossed your traditional stick in favor of building a better pit microbiome, you might be wondering what deems a product natural. Besides avoiding synthetic and artificial ingredients, these deodorants commonly have these three components. Ingredients with disinfectant or antibacterial properties, such as coconut oil and tea tree oil. Essential oils like lavender, sandalwood, or bergamot to provide a pleasant scent. Naturally absorbent ingredients like baking soda, arrowroot, or cornstarch to combat moisture. Natural deodorants won't plug sweat glands like traditional antiperspirants, but they don't contain the often worrying ingredient aluminum. Natural deodorants cover smell, not sweat, and that's a good thing. Don't expect the same results as traditional deodorants when switching to a natural product. It could take a few days or weeks for your underarms to rebalance their ecosystem. You can try an armpit detox to potentially speed up the process, but keep in mind that natural deodorants won't halt sweat. Instead, they'll work to minimize odor when things heat up. We don't want to eliminate our own personal scent signature anyway. We often talk about body odor as a bad thing, but it's not. Eyes might be the first thing that physical attraction focuses on, but our noses also play a role in who we choose to couple up with. So, although you might not want to go on a date without showering right after hot yoga, your natural, unmasked scent is totally acceptable in everyday circumstances. And it's likely one of your attractive qualities. You can buy natural deodorant at most natural food stores, where other natural skincare products are sold, or online. Some cult favorites include Schmidt's Natural Deodorant, Green Tidings All Natural Unscented Deodorant, Primal Pit Paste. Finding the right natural deodorant for you can involve a little trial and error, much like searching for a favorite pair of jeans. That's because not only do we all smell differently, but we all smell differently, too. A study from 2013 shows that we each have a unique set of genetic variations that lead to changes in how we perceive scents. You may not like how your natural odor pairs with a patchouli laced stick, for example, but your sister loves the way it works with her chemistry. Play around until you find a natural deodorant that does you right. Create your own deodorant. You can also try making your own, if the online options don't appeal to you. Try this easy recipe. Ingredients: 1/3 cup coconut oil, 1/4 cup baking soda, 1/4 cup arrowroot starch, 6 to 10 drops of essential oils, if desired. Instructions: mix baking soda and arrowroot. Mash in coconut oil until blended. Add essential oils, if desired. Place the mixture in an empty glass jar. To use, just warm a small amount between your fingers until it turns into liquid. Apply to your pits. When making your own natural deodorant, feel free to experiment with different bases, powders, and oils. Shea butter, cocoa butter, and coconut oil work well as bases, but you don't have to have one if you prefer an all-powder formula. Just combine equal parts baking soda and arrowroot and then add your preferred oils and shake to mix. Store in an empty spice jar with a shaker top. Your diet influences your smell too. If you give natural deodorant a try and are still concerned about body odor, try these bow hacks. Consider looking at what you eat as well. A 2006 study on 17 men found that red meat consumption may negatively impact how we smell. Plus, think about how certain foods like garlic or onion affect your breath. When you sweat, these foods can make your whole body smell a little more potent, too. If you're seriously concerned about your smell, even with the magic of Deo, talk to your doctor. Certain illnesses or health conditions can also amp up one's odoriferousness. But above all, remember that sweat and body odor are natural. Don't let your arms prevent you from putting your hands in the air and enjoying life.